Hey guys, go ahead and get your notes all set up for Chinese philosophies. We're going to go over three main philosophies, background to their philosopher, creator, and then we are going to look at their basic belief system and how they influence China. Remember, you just have to write down the bolded or underlined information. If you want to write down more, feel free to do so. All right, Confucianism. Confucius lived in China from 551 BCE to 479 BCE. Yes, those are the correct dates. He was born in 551 and died in 479. That's because it's BCE. Remember, if you were to do a number line, this would be like negative numbers on a number line. He was born into a low-ranking noble family. And in ancient Chinese times, really only people that were a part of the noble class could get educated. So he received an education, even though he was low ranking on the nobility scale. He was born under the Zhou Empire, and this was a time when the Zhou Empire wasn't doing so great. It was declining, and states around them were battling to be like the next dynasty in power. This created a lot of chaos, and Confucius was like, oh my gosh, things are so crazy right now. I'm going to go to my education and just reflect on past rulers who maintained a peaceful society and see what we can learn from them. And what he kind of came up with was this philosophy really focused around defining proper conduct for people in government. And if people were following that proper conduct, then there would be peace in society. If you need more time to write this down, put the video on pause. All right, so here's the basic beliefs of Confucianism. People are naturally good and should focus on improving their behavior to do what they know is right. There's 5 relationships that people can fall under as long as people are meeting their responsibility in these relationships and roles, then there's going to be peace in society. Relationship number 1, ruler and subject. 2, parent and child. 3, husband and wife. 4, elder sibling and younger sibling. And 5, friend to friend. So number 1, 2, 3, and 4 are highlighted in blue because those were ones where there was seen like there was a superior in that relationship. For example, ruler, parent, husband, elder sibling, they were kind of seen as the superior in that role. And their job was really to be benevolent and set a good example for the non-superior in that role. Friend is highlighted in yellow because that's one where the relationship was seen as equal and there just was more of a focus on that mutual respect. If you need more time to write that down, put the video on pause, push play when you're ready. All right, influence. It was the official belief system in the Han Dynasty. Like government officials, if you worked in the government or not, was chosen based on education and Confucian teachings. If you need more time to write this down, put the video on pause, push play when you're ready. All right, next philosophy, Taoism. If you've ever seen this lovely symbol right here, either like on a temporary tattoo or a t-shirt, especially like if your parents grew up in the 90s, this is where this symbol comes from. Not a whole lot is known about the founder of Taoism, Laozi, but we know his basic beliefs or the basic beliefs of Taoism. Taoism believes striving for power and wealth was harmful because it was unnatural. Like things out in nature aren't trying to gain fame or wealth or power or anything like that. So it was going against nature in order to do those kinds of things. And they generally believe that people can gain happiness by becoming one with the Tao. That was really hard to define, but here's like as simple as we can get sort of definition. The Tao is a universal force of nature. Taoism believes people should see themselves as part of nature and try to balance their life with it. Taoism acknowledges that nature is both good and bad, and you need to accept both. So think of the yin and the yang, that's the symbol right here, where you have like this balance of good and bad or opposing forces. Not necessarily good and bad, but opposing or opposite forces. Taoism really focused on making fewer laws to support what subjects naturally desire. And there's going to be an example of this on the next slide. Go ahead and put the video on pause. Push play when you're ready. All right, influence of Taoism. It was used a little bit in the Han Dynasty. The main one was Confucianism, but it was used in the Han Dynasty. For example, when they eliminated a heavy land tax on poor farmers, it helped alleviate food scarcity. So that's a example of how it was used in the Han Dynasty. It's also an example of how they believed rulers should make fewer laws to give the subjects what they naturally desire. They got rid of that land tax, so making fewer laws to help people get what they naturally desired. Things like, I don't know, food. Who doesn't like food? Go ahead and put the video on pause. Push play when you're ready. All right, last one that we're going to talk about, legalism. Han Fei was born as a prince to a royal family in the Zhou dynasty. And he received an excellent Confucian education. Like being a prince, he was really, really high ranking in that noble family. So he got a really great education, and it was a Confucian education. He was also surrounded by Chinese states battling for power, so that fighting was still going on. And he was like, "What? This is still chaos. Like, what's going on? Confucian got this all wrong." So the basic beliefs of legalism is most people are naturally selfish and evil, like complete opposite of Confucius. And there will only be peace if laws have clear punishments and rewards. Sounds a lot like Hammurabi's Code, am I right? And rulers should not demonstrate affection or charity. They might feel bad for somebody, but they shouldn't show that in their actions. Really a tough love sort of stance. Go ahead and put the video on pause if you need more time to write this down. Push play when you're ready. All right, influences. It was used by the Qin dynasty. The Qin dynasty is where China got its name, Qin, China. And it tried to increase loyalty to the government by breaking up family loyalty. Like family wasn't as important as the government. The government was your family now. Like you need to be loyal to the government first before you're loyal to your family. It prohibited people from criticizing the government. And if you did, you would be like burned alive, hands cut off, you know, the basic sort of punishment. It did eventually fail, the Qin dynasty, because people rebelled against this strict government, which would kind of maybe explain why all of the pictures and drawings and statues of the founder of legalism, he kind of looks like evil and really, really mad. All right, so what you guys are going to be doing next, you're going to take those notes and you're going to complete the Chinese Philosophies Google Doc on Google Classroom. If you have any questions, you can always contact me via email, my Google Voice phone number, or open office hours from 1:30 to 3 using the same Google Meet link that is on your Google Classroom. See you later.